Hey guys, Liam from Team Gunt here. The last weekend I went to a regional and I got third place. I played going second Draco, where if I won the roll I chose to go second, except if I knew my opponent was playing an FTK and then I chose to go first. Because I think this deck breaks boards better than it makes it, and relying on drawing into your floodgates is not a reliable strategy. So I'd rather just break a board. So yeah, there's some cool ideas that I had in the extra and side, but other than that, pretty standard. So I played only 2 Mono Water. The reason I only played 2 was because while you want to see it, you never want to see it in multiples. So it's like really good, but you never want to see multiples because it clogs your hand. So you're never going to see 2 usually with that. Then standard 2 Masterpiece, Ignis, 2 Maiden. This card was really good for breaking boards because it gives you extra monsters. And then last monster I played was a Draco. I played this because if you go first, you want to see a monster. You need more Draco names, but playing 3 Maiden is redundant because you're just searching out other Maidens, which does nothing. This at least floats into something and has target protection, so that's pretty good. So 8 monsters? 9 monsters. 8 monsters. For spells, I played 3 Diagram, 3 more copies of Diagram, 3 Card of Demise, 3 Potted Desires. This card's amazing. You just pop it with Diagram if you draw extra copies. So this card says draw 2. Potted Duality. I was playing a build with Scapegoat in it. That conflicted with this, but I cut Scapegoat for other cards, and Potted Duality is just amazing. Gets you 3 cards deeper into your deck. Lets you get to a Mono Auto, which is really good going second. And no one ever negates this. And then standard 3 Heritage and 3 Disciples. And then because I chose to go second, I main decked Stormforth and 2 Chalice. The reason I played these over a 3rd Mono Auto is because these help boards through the Pendulum Trap without and also it doesn't clog your hand with monsters because you can set them as well if you go first. Even though no one ever made me start for some reason. So yeah, this card is just really good over the weekend. It's also really relevant if anyone's playing the Waking the Dragons card, because if you pop it and they summon the guy, it's the only out in the deck is to have Diagram with a Masterpiece affected by spells, and then you have to attack and chalice your own guy to get 3650. That's the only out the deck has to it. So yeah, this was really good for me over the weekend. For traps, I played Return, 3 Apocalypse, pretty standard. And then I played Skill Drain and Rivalry. Even though I chose to go second, these floodgates are amazing because this is a pseudo board wipe, and this also helps you break a board. Because if you don't necessarily do anything going second, you can just set this and set Drain, and then Drain forces this through, so you then disrupt and they can't kill you anymore, and then you can just establish control again. So 40 cards in the main deck. For my side deck, I played 3rd Mono Water. The reason I played this in the side deck was because I also sided 2 Called by the Grave. Because in matchups such as the Invoke deck and the Trickster deck, I wanted 5 copies of a Mono Auto, so I always saw it because it's amazing in both those matchups. So yeah, you wanted 5 copies of basically Call to the Grave or a Mono Auto. They do the same thing. And so yeah, I played that. And also, this card's really good in the mirror match as well, because you can just attack for 19 and return to your hand when you have no cards on board, and they have to commit, otherwise they lose. So this card's really good. Side deck, and then I sided 3 Ghost Ogre and 3 Winter Cherries. These were, whenever I went second, they stopped FTKs, and they were also really good against just the Pendulum deck in general. It gives you free wins. It makes a lot of matchups auto win, which is what I wanted in the side deck. So these are all really good all weekend. And then the last 6 cards were just 3 Cosmic Cyclone. This card is really good in the mirror match and everything else. And then 3 Red Reboot. This card is the nuts. This card basically just says oh, you're trying to play traps to stop my plays, I'm going to now push through everything and get value out of all my cards. So against Trickstar, when they try and reincarnation you, you can chain this from your hand by paying half your life points. It stops reincarnation, and then it turns up everything else except for Scapegoat. So you just go ahead and pop through all their cards and they're left with nothing. And then you can usually apply enough pressure to win. And then my extra deck, because I did play one, I played an Omega and a Baxia, which the only synchros I made, they're the only cards you can make in this deck. The cool thing with Baxia is that if you make it with a Ghost Ogre, you can pop a True Draco card and just revive Ghost Ogre back, so you have an interruption with Ghost Ogre as well. So this card was really good. It never came up on the weekend, but it came up in testing quite a bit, so it was really good for that. And the rest of my extra deck is Cherry Sagas. So for the 6-card deck, I played Seraph Knight, Mechaba, ABC, Pendulum FTK. Any deck that can make Dweller, I also had that in my extra deck, just in case. If I played against Mermails and things like that. Dante, Phantom Quartz for the Gem Knight FTK. I don't think that's very good. I wish I would play Lancia over it. That completely stops the FTK. Double Helix, this was for Spiral, because there was a couple of Spiral with the new Nightmare cards. This turns off like most of their combo. And Electromite, Borrelode Dragon, Soyuja. These cards I can make, but are really hard, and if you do make them, you're usually winning anyway. And then I played a Volcasaurus and a Gaia Dragon, because you can occasionally make them, and when you do, it's usually to push the game. So yeah, that was my deck profile. Shout outs to Herbert for filming the deck, Michael for helping build the deck, Team Gund, they're an awesome team, Piers, team leader, Hayden for getting me onto the deck, and anyone else that helped with testing or anything like that. Thanks.